Everything are a Manchester-based art rock and pop band with 3 previous albums under the belt. The single marks is one of the 3 released singles from their 4th upcoming album titled The Fever Dream. We're ready. What do we think of this? Do we like it?
It's grown on me.
Yeah, initially I was kind of reserved on it, so I wasn't too hot on either one of the 2 singles to come out, those being Can't Do and the title track Fever Dream, but maybe they'll sort of grow on me more once I'm giving the album a full listen. But for now, I think the one we're talking about today is maybe my favourite of all 3.
Yeah, but the only thing that we wanted more of in it is the detail from past Everything projects in the instrumentation.
Yeah.
The places we got that were the extra guitar parts, which at the end of the song, in that massive, I guess you'd call it a refrain or a bridge at the end. Refrain?
You mean the sort of crescendoing
bridge?
At
the end.
Yeah, the very end.
That, we got it there with guitar parts that didn't only just loop the same part over and over, but went crazy at points, with Jonathan Higgs, with him starting to practically scream.
It's not new for Jonathan to start wailing towards the back end of a song, especially in older material, but in this here, the way he's lacing his vocals in response to all this instrumentation, which is doing all this cool 6/8 polyrhythmic stuff, I want to say, and all this really exaggerating the offbeats and syncopation in the drums and all those overlying guitars that sound kind of metal influenced even, is pretty intricate. We've sort of found that last section to be the most intricate of all the verses in there.
It has the most intricate, of the parts that are the most... fuck.
This is the trouble with shooting outside in a fucking shed.
Well, no, the most intricate parts from the chorus and verses, which are the guitar parts, come into that and are hyped up in that last section as well, with other guitar parts that are interlaced, I guess you'd call it.
I guess they really saved the best of their elements for the track for last.
Yeah. You've got also the more ethereal vocal ad-libs in the background of that section, help emphasize it, I think, just show a contrast.
One of the coolest points of intricacy for me in that very last section is these kind of pitch shift pedaled guitars. Maybe I just listened to too much Lightning Bolt, but it reminded me of just how some of their really grimy bass textures undergo some really heavy pitch shifting. But I guess it could equally just be the simpler technique of just whiling around on the fretboard. But either way, I thought I appreciated how the whole track just cut out for that one section.
Yeah. It really highlighted it.
Yeah, just to really let it shine through, because it was a cool moment. It kind of broke through all of the harmony and melody coming through, but not in a distracting way. It managed to contribute to the energy of the whole passage as well, and I thought that was really cool. It is one of their more lyrically, I guess, melancholy. It sort of sees, as it so puts it, a pencil pusher kind of internally revolting against the authority around him. The
main, what do you call it? I say rules in the culture of you can't, you said about the blood, the different colours of blood. Yeah. It's to me that was sort of about how you can't do anything that powerful. You don't have the power to do it.
Well, I think that whoever the people that are speaking that voice in this song come in the form of these. One of my favourite textures in the song actually is these vocal harmony stacks. They sound. I mean, they don't switch up that much verse to verse other than lyrics, but they sound gorgeous.
Yeah.
They sound like these guys coming together.
And the harmony's not predictable there either. It's more unpredictable. I didn't expect the harmony that was there.
I think the angle that those lyrics are coming at is people that are embedded in this, just a culture of pencil pushers and knuckle draggers who are under authority's tight rule, giving warning to the self-unsatisfied protagonist who leads the track off with wanting the world under his power, just tired of being in the position of I don't know, just being someone else's bitch. Yeah, alright, fuck. And as well as wanting the world very immediately after being so tired of being just pushed around in it, working an office job, the protagonist also wants to beat like the evil out of it. I guess he's sort of taking like trying to adopt this heroic standpoint.
Like most people, he sees the shit that's happening around him.
Yeah.
And just wants it to change.
But like everyone around him is telling him the higher authority that he's questioning is miles above him in terms of power, and therefore like he's completely useless. He can't fulfill these dreams to like take over.
That line with the pencil pusher blues, I think, shows more that it's a common problem. Like, it's this thing that happens regularly, that people in those jobs feel powerless and like they can't do anything to help, and
like their dreams have gotten away from them from like work obligations which have like since run their life have taken away from their dreams. I've always loved Jonathan Higgs as a lyricist, but the line "what the hell have I got left to lose" makes sense, it works, but could he have not worded this more creatively?
Yeah, you
like,
just think it's too generic.
Yeah. Like, in the past, like one of my favourite Everything songs, the opener to Man Alive, My Key's Your BF, which is basically about drawing parallels between war and, like, sitcom situations, or rather, like, a situation where a war scenario is through the lens of a sitcom. There's some really, like, funny and clever, but cryptic. Like, the way Jonathan Higgs, like, puts all of these lyrics together is not painfully obvious by a long shot. A big part of the appeal of this band to me is, in the lyrics, is the mystery of just, like, sitting down and trying to, like, carve an interpretation out of what Higgs has given us lyrically. And I don't get that with lines like, "what the hell have I got left to lose?" But I guess it does the job. Most of my other reservations just lie in structural development and like texture development. Just, I like all of the sounds here. I just wish there were more, or they did more.
Yeah, like the chorus, for example. That synth is so thick. And it's really nice, especially when it first comes in.
Yeah,
but
it's a real explosion.
Yeah, I want that chorus to build, though, even more. I mean, the textures are...
On its second occurrence.
Yeah. The textures are still exploding, but I just sort of feel like I wanted more,
like,
it to push even more.
Yeah, why stop there?
I was going to say about the swung vocals in the verse. Really like them. I guess it's more because Everything is such a fucking tight band. Like, on point, every single, not even beat, every like 16.
To like the most micro degree. Generally, their tightness is like fucking padlocked. But I guess they're just demonstrating it here again, and it's as great as usual. The main thing about this song that I guess I am disappointed by the lack of kind of intricate details that have occupied past Everything songs that I really enjoy. But I'm coming to understand that these most recent songs and the band's direction has been more focused on size and power, like the opening to The Blade for their last album, which like had its subtleties, but it like, when that first verse comes in, that shit fucking explodes.
It's 1 to 100.
I understand that, but again, what with the details of the band's like songwriting and even sound design some of the time, like the way they embed synthesizers into their songs, especially on like that really early material, was really creative.
Because the synth in this one is just like saturated to hell, isn't it?
Fucking beefy as hell. It's an awesome texture.
I guess that's why they decided not to. Maybe that synth just took up way too much of the frequency spectrum for them to be able to fit much more.
But then you've got like the first verse where the lyrics appear, and I'm pretty sure what occupies that is just like palm muted guitars, bass, claps that are sort of like playing with the stereo field a bit more, the drums, and obviously Jonathan up front. But they could have had like just a few more details, or like on that second verse, this is just an idea, but Everything can write their songs however the fuck they want, but maybe on the second verse, like the guitars could like open up from palm a bit more, or maybe there could be like just like a droning synth pad in the back, or like maybe those like vocal harmonies could be like contributing just like a chord bed in the back. These are ideas that like the band has had before and filled verses out and kept their song progressions interesting. But they seem to be kind of absent here, and it does leave a sort of unsatisfied taste in my mouth.
It's still catchy. you will probably
they've
it
never
will keep
failed
in
on
your
that.
head.
Yeah, they've never failed on that. Like even when the hooks of an Everything song can get so grating, especially when Jonathan is just like falsetto yelling them at you. Like some of those bonus cuts on their last album, which
Don't get into that.
all right,
Okay.
this song like avoids any like the falsettos are strong and they're wailing as I expect from Jonathan Higgs, but they're not as incessant.
There's not anything crazy like in the first album.
Yeah.
Where you've got just like from, again, 1 to 100, just pitch wise.
QWERTY Finger.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing song. Can't wait to review Man Alive, by the way, when we get to that.
What do we think? Alfie, how do you feel about this song?
I feel like a...
yeah, that'll be it.
And what it musically, how do you represent your opinion on this?
Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks.